Thank you. So I think, Laura, let's get on with the exciting stuff. You guys wait till you see what Sqweee has been working on. Take it away, Laura.
Okay, so we have been hard at work on the event info pages, which comes beautifully into the topic of follow-up. So things to note before I dive in. Normix Consultants, you guys are actually the very first right now to get a sneak peek at these pages. So I'd like to give our partner perks here. But I do want you guys to know that these features are still under development. So some of what you will see will not appear exactly as they do here, as they will in the site. So grain of salt, but pretty close. I'm going to be sharing just screenshots today, and these are actually from the mobile design. So you're going to be seeing what it would be looking like to work in these areas on your phone. You will be able to use the functions, obviously, in computer and tablet as well. It will actually even be more detailed. So you are seeing just kind of the boiled down mobile version. And these are not available right now. We're working really hard to bring you these features later this month. Okay, so we're going to start off with there are new ways to look at your event info. So right now, you guys are pretty familiar with the guest list. So this is looking just at the guest list. And if you have comments, I can't see them until I get off screen share, so I'll loop back around. But you can tell here we have a new flag. So when you log into Sqweee, if you have not looked at this party recently, anyone who has RSVP'd or interacted since you last looked is going to have a new label. So that's already making it much easier for you to do your follow-up, because you might have already handled talking to some of these people, but you want to make sure you know who's new, who do I need to pay attention to, which RSVP questions do I need to take a look at. So now we have the new flag that'll be coming through you. You also can do lots of fun sorting and filtering of this event guest list. So obviously filtering by name, date added is when they've RSVP'd, been added to this list. You could sort it just by people who've responded to your survey, which if you're looking at that servant selling heart and you're looking to modify your party timeline for your guests, that might be a place you go straight to, looking at survey responders, and of course guests with favorites as well. So not too many big changes on that one. But this is a big one, and I am really excited about this one. So this is the consultant task checklist. So you can see we have a toggle. So I was on activity view, and I've tapped and I've switched it to checklist view. So in the checklist view, you are going to be able to follow an interactive kind of roadmap, if you will, for customer care, basically from start to finish, of some of the most common consultant tasks, which I'll show you in a second. So you're able to actually keep track of progress. So you can keep track of, did I reach out and introduce myself to everyone? Things like that. I know some of you use different programs as well. So for example, if you are doing a texting campaign through Project Broadcast, you might want to come in here and multi-select and be able to say, yes, I did this for these guests. I did that in Project Broadcast. It's done. Check it here. So you can apply these to a single guest at a time or a multiple guest at a time. And this is what we're looking at, the action task for success. So actually, let me go backwards. So to get to this screen, I was oops, I went too far. Basically tapping on like that multi-select, and it's going to bring up this where I get to select the categories. This is working on mobile, so we can't actually have those headers, just not enough room, constraints of mobile. When you're on desktop, you'll actually see those headers above the checklist. But these are the categories that we have identified as really those core tasks that need to be done. So we have contacting. That's that first contact, just to introduce yourself to the guests and learn more about their needs. If you have an order that has been received, this is just going to be an easy glance for you. You'll be able to look at your party, look at that guest list and say, I got 4 orders, I got 8 orders. You can kind of see even your proportion of orders to the people who attended, that kind of thing. These are all really powerful data sets for you to continue tweaking what you're doing on Sqweee and continue working towards more and more successful events. Thank you sent, like I said, thank you for your order. Thank you for your participation. It could be whatever you want to make it in terms of how you thank guests. Booking requested. I love having this one in there because I think it helps hold you accountable to inviting each and every one of your guests to host a party. So rather than just, handpicking where you happen to end up in conversations, you can have that checklist, fill those circles. Prizes sent, this is one that was always really necessary for me because, again, I'm always moving on to the next thing. I don't always necessarily take care of that right away. So this keeps you accountable to that follow through for any guests who might have won prizes. And then followed up. I think this is one that category that people will probably use in very different ways, but this could be continuing the relationship, maybe checking in on how the order is after it's arrived. If you're focusing on recruiting, that follow-up might be a joining conversation. So that's going to be something that you guys can use as you'd like. But those are the action tasks. That's the roadmap. So for consultants who just are kind of new and aren't really necessarily knowing what to go through for all these tasks, we now have made it very clear kind of what you're doing as you're working through that guest list to build those relationships. Okay, any data geeks out there like me? We love data at Sqweee, so we kind of started to feed you a little bit more information about your events so that you can evaluate engagement and again, make those adjustments if you need to. So what you're looking at here is the event overview in graph view. So I have a snapshot, and you can see I'm looking at post 1 on this one. I can take a look at, how many attendee chats came through in that post. You can kind of, this isn't going to be a beautiful, like really chatty party across the way. You're going to see this with your party because you might have a video where they're not chatting a lot because they're watching. Or you might have, a post where no items were starred because you didn't have any products in that post. So definitely expect some variability in what you're going to see here, but you're going to be able to make some adjustments. If you see that chatting fell off at post 7 on every single party that you've done, take a look at what's happening on post 7 and see if you can make adjustments to keep your guests engaged. So, some people, it can be a little bit difficult to see the truth of what's going on in your parties, but if you don't know what's happening in your parties, it's very difficult to plan and adjust for it. So this is going to give you a very clear image of what's going on in your events. So we're looking at number of chats, like I said, and number of items starred in the post. We also have these fun little tools up top, the chattiest guest and the starriest guest, which are ranking tools that are really, they're just for fun. It kind of helps gamify it again. But as a consultant, you can use these strategically. So you can use this as an opportunity for them to, as an incentive, right? So I'm going to be announcing the starriest guest and the chattiest guest after the event. If you would like to be notified of who these were, they'll be receiving this fun little freebie from me. Sign up now to opt into my texting campaign or things like that. So again, we're using tools like this to, they want to find out who won, they want to find out who got the prize. And so they want the information, and they're willing to give you that information about their contact information, sort of in exchange. So that's kind of a fun one that I'm excited to start playing with. Okay. It's hard for me not to see your comments right now, guys. I can kind of like see them coming in, and
these are incredible, Laura. Wow.
Yeah, we're excited. And I'm not showing you everything, but I'm showing you kind of just an overview of it. So popular products, this is another thing that you can take a look at. So this is the starred items tab that you're going to be looking at. You can take a look. Again, I'm in graph view right now, so I'm looking at a bar graph. The number at the end of that is the number of times it was starred. So these are actually books from Amazon and are just a design example here. But so like we can see, okay, 35 people. Wow, that's a really popular, product. I don't want to remove that product from my timeline ever, right? It's going to stay in there. But I can see some that maybe aren't so popular. So you can make those adjustments to make sure that you're really profiling those products that, seem to be popular and likely convert to sales by taking a look at this. So you're able to sort it in lots of different ways. You can see that sort tool up on the top. So sorting by post number, alphabetically, number of stars, any way that you want to take a look at it, you're able to do that. This is something that I like to use for future customer care as well. I'm not showing you the list view right here, but when you are in list mode, you actually are able to do a little drop down. You can see all the guests that starred that product. So instead of needing to go through individually and look at each individual guest and see it, you can still do that. But if you'd like to look at, I just want to see who loved the mop. because I want to get some hosts, and that's a great hosting incentive. So who loved them up? You can come in, use that search tool, look for the specific product, drop it down, and you can see exactly who has liked that item. Okay. And the last one I'm going to show you is RSVP and event results. I kind of lumped them into one slide here together because they're actually pretty similar in how they look. But here we are looking at the bigger picture look at the results. So like I said, we've been able to do that up until now by, we can go look at who wants to look at what for, in the RSVP survey, but you needed to go through and click through individually at each person and get a really detailed look at each person. This is a broader look. So on the left here where I'm showing this ring chart, this pie chart kind of looking thing, that might say, how familiar are you with Norwex? And you would have these answers here. And so you can take a glance at it. You don't need to look at individuals. You can take a glance at it and say, oh my goodness, I have 75% who already know Norwex. Maybe I'm going to focus just on new products for this party, things like that. So you're able to really target what you're doing with so much less time spent on it, which is, one of Sqweee's core philosophies is working smarter, not harder. So we're just kind of bringing that around here for that. So that makes it easy to customize. Customizing your party content definitely can help you with those relationships, building up that trust factor, bookings, all of that. Simplifies follow-up for hosting and joining interest as well. If you have, as I said, this applies to event results as well. So if you have an interactive poll post all about how interested are you in joining, I'm now able to go and take a look and quickly see who was interested in joining. I'm going back to that list view, I'm expanding. These people said they're so interested, I'm going to talk to them right now. That kind of thing. So lots of things that you can do here. I think I kind of covered that. Graph view is this aggregate view. List mode, you can see individual names. Okay, not too much changed on the individual result page, but we will be featuring a couple new details when the RSVP was received. So sometimes we've had questions about how can I tell when they were in there, when they attended, and then what device they use. This is actually something that can be helpful as a consultant to know whether someone is on a phone or on mobile, so that if maybe I need to help them, navigate this way or that way, or where they're clicking, things like that. If they're having trouble, that's also something that can help our support desk to say, oh, hey, they were on Internet Explorer, and we can say, well, that Microsoft stopped supporting that in 2015, so that's their problem, So those are things that we can see, and that might help you as consultants as well. So that's pretty much all I wanted to show on that. I mean, we will definitely be doing trainings on it. So this was just, like I said, that sneak peek. So we'll dive into deeper detail on it in terms of how can you use this for follow-up, how can you use this for customizing your events, building relationships, all that good stuff. Definitely, if you have not already subscribed to our YouTube channel, I recommend that you do that, because of course we will be putting out tutorials when we have all these pages fully up and live on the site. But that's kind of it for now. So I'm going to stop my share again so I can catch up on your comments and see if I can answer any questions for you guys.
Well, so far there's not really any questions that we haven't answered on the fly here. They love, for the most part, they love all these incredible new tools. And like Laura said, you are the first to hear about them, absolute first. So give us a little bit of time to allow this to kind of percolate, and it's in beta for some of this. But please do, we'll drop the link to both Sqweee's YouTube channel, as well as if you haven't joined our Safe Haven group on Facebook, we drop a lot of updates and content in there. It's just because, guys, I want to be honest, getting updates to our consultant office area can take time. So I'm finding that the Safe Haven group is where I can drop your immediate updates for graphics like monthly specials, things like that, the training recordings and things like that. So bear with us. We're a few months into this and certainly trying to collect up all of the training, but we'll drop in Laura's Sqweee YouTube channel. Recommend that you absolutely subscribe to that, because the changes you guys have made in such a short time really are going to serve all consultants, you know, we talk about follow-up, and we all have very best intentions, don't we? But having that checklist or the step-by-step, especially for new consultants, is going to be key. And, you know, there's the value in your subscription to Sqweee. You're hosting a once-a-month regular party that you host, no matter if you have a host or not, you know, every second Tuesday at 9 p.m. Now you have all this follow-up information and checklists at your fingertips. There's your value, guys. I mean, just absolutely fantastic. And I just want to point out a big, big thank you to you and your team, Laura. It is very obvious that you've listened to our Norwex consultants. You have listened to all the support tickets put in, and you guys certainly are fantastic in delivering just a system that provides value at every turn. So thank you so much. And we've got more to come. Stay tuned for your Norwex news and your impressions, because we've got more trainings coming, and there's obviously a lot rolling out thanks to Laura and the Sqweee team, who have been working very, very hard. So thank you. God bless. Get going on Sqweee. Host the party. Stop talking about it and just do it, you guys.
Absolutely.
Care. Thanks again, Laura, and we'll talk soon, everybody. Have a great rest of your day.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.